to another My Little Podcast. We are your hosts. I am Bree. I'm here with my father, Gary.
Hello.
My mother, Shelly.
Hi.
And my brother, Bryson.
Hello.
We're going to be looking back on this year.
Shouldn't it be hello? Your bass voice.
Hello.
There it is.
We're going to be looking back on the accomplishments and stuff that happened to us this last year of 2019. And we're also going to be looking forward into 2020 and talking about some of our resolutions and goals and plans for the upcoming year. But before we get into that, today's podcast is sponsored by MyLittleHomestead.com. A new year means new opportunities to spice up the wardrobe. We offer only the classiest selection of quirky,
Classy.
quirky, fun, and unique designs on t-shirts, sweatshirts, aprons, mugs, and more. Check out MyLittleHomestead.com or visit the link in the description. Now, we always do that tongue-in-cheek because, to be transparent with you, that is our merch store. But yeah, you know, it's not...
Thank you, sponsors.
Thank you, sponsor. I appreciate it. So, this last year has been seems like a lot has happened.
Mm-hmm.
We had a new baby coming into the family with Garen and Ellie's.
Well,
Uh,
not coming to the family yet, but
Not
news
yet.
of it.
Not
Yeah.
yet. News, I guess. Well, just
Yeah.
the news of the addition coming to. And then, of course, our dogs went through some sicknesses and stuff. We made it through that.
Scary, yeah.
And then the big one was Dad got pronounced and is cancer-free. All in one year in a few
Wow.
months period, which is
That was
a
an
miracle.
it's a
even scarier
wild
one.
ride.
Yeah.
It ended with the worst and best news ever. So, what are some of our? Do we want to go into the
Well, back when I was born.
back when you were born?
Not that far back. Okay,
Back when
so-
Laura was around.
Back when Laura was in 1880. Yeah, I think we should probably, we took off in January and February and March, and there were a lot of things going on. We were working on the rest of the kitchen, I think, January, February, and March,
Mhm.
April, May, and June, July, August.
August, September, October.
Man, that's a
Ooh.
lot of time spent doing
September.
that.
Mhm.
And but yeah, it was good to make it through the first part of the year.
It was good to make it through it.
Because like September for me is like, oh
Yeah, because of the cancer stuff. So.
But everything else was good. I think good year.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember when we got the news that Azalea is going to be joining our family. We had just come out of a movie, and we were coming down the escalators through the coming home from a movie. We're coming down the escalators to go down to
Or
the
actually,
car.
the steps, I think it was.
The steps, something like that.
Sorry.
And no, you're fine.
Like
Yes,
correcting
okay.
the story.
It was-
Well,
Yes.
half of us were on the escalator, half was on the steps.
Actually, I think that's an accurate statement. If we want to be
So,
really super accurate.
We do.
Okay. It's really important because
We were the
fact check
fourth
us. You know?
step down. Right in the middle.
But Dad or Mom, I think, put Garen and Ellie on speakerphone, and Garen was like, "Is everybody gathered? Is everybody gathered?" We're like, "Yeah." And then they're like, "We're having a baby," and we're like,
That was so cool.
Yeah, that was so neat.
"Oh, that was so fun. That was awesome. That was awesome."
Very
when
cool.
I was thinking, I wonder if this is going to be an announcement like that. When he started having us gather, I was like, okay, something is up.
Yeah.
And when it was that was really cool. I don't even remember what movie we'd come out of. Apparently, it wasn't very
It didn't matter
memorable.
after that.
That was the highlight of
Yeah.
it, of that
Yeah.
trip. So, for sure.
Yeah, I don't remember the movie. I was thinking maybe it was How to Train Your Dragon, but I can't remember.
Oh, was it around my birthday?
I don't remember
Was it for my birthday?
No, it wouldn't have
I
been
don't
because
think
if
so.
the baby's due in December, they wouldn't have known until
January,
3 or 4
isn't it?
months.
Yeah.
I
did
think they
January.
go 6 weeks or so
Oh.
after that.
Timeline's a little gooey, but we know it happened at some point this year, earlier on.
The details of the movie really matter.
And then all the prep for the baby all the way up to this point has been pretty exciting too.
Yeah, that's been.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they bought a house. When that happened this year, it was a big year for everybody, all the way through the family. So, prepping for that baby.
Yeah, that was pretty neat because I knew they were looking for a place to buy, and they were looking at a place about an hour away, and they were also looking at other states, so we didn't really know where they were going to end up living. And Garen says, can we come over? We have some news to tell you. And I thought, oh, and I asked Shay because she already knew, and she couldn't tell us. I said, well, just tell me if it's good or bad. And she says it's good. And I said, okay, they probably got that place. Hopefully, or that place that's an hour away, because I knew they were looking at it. And I thought, oh, good, I'm glad they're going to be so close. We'll be able to help them out and whatnot. And they came and they sat down, and then they told us, to my shock, that they had bought Ellie's family home, which meant they were not far from us at all. And here we knew the baby was coming, and now they're going to be close. I just thought, I don't know how the news could be any better than this. This is just fantastic. So
That's awesome.
it's very excited for them.
For sure. And also a property that we all knew so well too. So it's like, we know where it's at. We know we've got memories there,
And we can get up to help them with whatever they want and
Anything,
whatever they
we're
can
so
dream
close.
up.
Far away at
yeah,
all.
whatever they need will be
And we
right
can
there.
babysit at any time.
Yes,
Exactly.
built-in babysitters right here.
Absolutely.
So, I think I've already mentioned it, but they like to hunt, both of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's like built-in hunting time is babysitting time right there. So they have some
Yeah.
place to
You're
bring
vying for
us
that
in.
time right now. You're
Right,
looking
I'm putting
ahead
my-
in your
yeah.
future, and you're thinking,
putting everything in
Me.
right now, saying, "Hey, you've got to come." And
too young. She can't be going out hunting. She's too young. She's got to
That-
come here.
it will go away because soon, he'll
Soon
take
she
her
will.
hunting.
I'm sure
Yeah.
she'll be like right there
Yeah.
with him.
Well,
So you gotta
you
take
went
advantage.
the one are afraid of the bang of the guns and the kind of stuff, the sounds.
I know when
and
you
stuff,
first said that, you
so-
said, "Oh, when they go hunting, we can take Azalea." And I'm thinking, "Oh, you can't take Azalea hunting. Her little ears."
Oh.
And Dad's like, "No. I mean, we get to babysit."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like
okay,
that one.
cool. So, yeah, well, I'm looking forward to that. And she's already spoiled and not even born yet.
I know it.
Oh my
I just
gosh.
recently had that baby shower, and that was
Yeah,
fun to do. That was fun to do. Yeah, and just her family has been given all kinds of stuff too. Her room is
Amazing.
full.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
we get to the toy phase, it's also going to be full. I feel like. I
Yeah.
was like
That's why Garen's probably expanding the
Yeah,
home.
he's
Is
gotta
just to
expand
get
the
the
house
toys in for
purely
all the
for the
kids.
toys.
Yeah, and I think this is like one of what's he want, 14 or 15 kids or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
well,
I don't
I think he's pulling your leg.
I
I
think
think he is
I
too.
think he might be. Fine.
Obviously, it's not 14. It was something like I don't know, a lot.
So something like a lot.
Yeah, somewhere between a lot and maybe too many. I don't know. You can kind of go there.
No.
But,
And then our dogs and stuff, we came across that
Paxson.
that packs and stuff for them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
got sick and stuff. And
Amazing stuff.
yeah,
It's
for
amazing
sure.
how many natural things are out there that just do amazing things. It's,
Yeah.
I just could not believe how that could work, but it proven over and over with
Over and over, all
four
of
the
them.
dogs. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's amazing.
I learned a lot. We've done a little bit of husbandry to the animals out here, and I've learned to sew pigs up with what would I have? A
I think
needle
it
and
was
Thread.
no.
pretty sure it was
Floss,
Fishing
right?
wire?
floss.
Oh, floss.
Yeah.
we sewed up a pig
Oh.
with floss,
Mhm.
but then giving the dogs the subdermal.
Oh, the
Water,
IV thing,
IV,
whatever that's
subdermal
At
called.
the
IV.
IV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like I got to poke this in the dog, and the dog's like there, and so that was scary, but
That was a new
it
skill.
worked.
That was weird.
I didn't want ever,
Yeah.
but I
No,
didn't do it.
I didn't.
Bryson did.
We
Yeah,
did
Bryson and I
discover
did.
Bryson has quite a way
She-
with animals.
Yeah.
No, I don't take that. But I was sitting there, and she's like, "Okay, you're gonna put the needle in." I'm like, "What? Wait, what?"
That was the technician
That
at
was
the
when we
vet.
were
The
at
vet,
technician
yeah.
at the vet. She's like, "Yeah, you just make a little tent and you go."
Yeah, but you did great. And we're going, Bryson,
Jeez, that
maybe
was
you should
scary.
be a vet.
No,
I know he made
I
it.
don't
He'd
think
make
I
a
could
good
handle
one
a vet.
for sure. Or we
Okay,
could
good.
just use him as our personal vet.
That's
So
true.
That
That's
works
true.
out.
Next time we have to sew up a pig, we'll go to Bryson.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad's got the more experience in that area.
Yeah.
Oh,
he-
goody.
he has
Any
more
stitching,
skill.
sewing, or anything else that's in Dad's
Yeah.
thing.
Seamstress. No, they don't call me a seamstress. Not a surgeon. They call him a seamstress. That's what it is, He's not a doggy surgeon. He's just a seamstress.
Yeah. So that was pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of events that occurred over the course of
That
building
pig
good
healed
and
up
stuff
too. The one that Dad
Oh,
stitched
yeah.
up.
Yeah,
It
It was
healed up. It was
gone.
whiny. but
Oh,
it
yeah.
did. It did.
It was
heal up.
whiny because it was spoiled. Because we
Oh.
bottle
Yeah.
fed it. Yeah. it
We
was
got a
that
little
was why.
attached.
Yeah. It was.
Do we have a name for it? We always have a weird name,
Oh,
like
we
gimpy
ended up
or-
giving it to a friend of ours because we
But
just couldn't
we
take
just
the
did end
whining
up-
anymore.
I did end up driving out to her place, picking that pig up and taking it in. So I remember that.
Wasn't it? Didn't it get that ear one time swollen, and it like fell over because it's like its balance was off, or was that a different pig?
We did have a pig that had a balance problem
Its
or
ear just-
drinking problem. We
And ear
couldn't
just
tell.
like swelled up, and she just like fell over.
yeah.
And she couldn't like walk. It was really
That's weird.
the
I guess
weirdest thing.
ears are a big part of the walking process for a pig.
And you would think that they wouldn't even need their eyes or ears because the ears just cover their eyes, and then they have such big
that was
ears.
from
You
the
know?
big blacks. They had the big blacks with the big ears that come over cover their eyes.
They gotta just go off a scent, man.
I think
They
that
got
was
good
like
noses,
a mineral
right?
thing.
Apparently.
Yeah, they got great noses.
Oh, was that a mineral
I
thing?
think it was, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think
It's
that's
like
how we did
it
solve
just lacks some minerals.
Yeah.
They got
Okay, whose
minerals
phone went
and
off?
was
Oh, I better
Gucci.
turn this
It's
one off.
mom's.
Oh,
Gucci-ness. Oh yeah, silence your cell phones
Silence
now.
Please silence your cell phones now. But you can't tell we don't do movies, huh? We do enjoy movies. I mean, we've had some great movies out this year that we went to go see. And what was the last one? Remember?
That we went to?
Yeah.
I think that was Frozen 2.
Okay, what was the one before
Mm.
that? Because I don't want to talk about Frozen 2.
Well, we like animations.
Yeah.
That I can remember us going to.
Well,
I
we did
remember
a
How to
couple
Train Your
Marvel
Dragon
movies, right?
one.
Yeah,
No,
How to
that-
Train
not
Your
this
Dragon.
year.
And a Marvel movie.
Not a
Not this
Marvel.
year.
You moved this year. Well, we
No?
did this year, maybe at the beginning of the
Maybe
year.
at the beginning of the year,
And
but
we
not
did-
between not our last
And
one.
then we saw Star Wars 2 years ago. I think it was. Yeah.
Something
So
like
what?
that.
But anyway, this year's been a good year. 2019. It's the turning year between 2019 and, well, 2020.
2020.
So,
Profound. Right
yes,
there.
anything profound coming out of my mouth. Hey, he's opening his mouth. Something profound will come out, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I just remember that Peach and Kung Fu Panda.
comment. Yes.
I just remember the Peach and Kung Fu Panda where he holds the peach and he says something really wise. The old guy. It's like
Old
the
turtle
turtle
guy?
stick. Yeah, the turtle.
Yeah.
What did he say?
I can't remember.
You must
mean
not
you
have
can't
that
remember?
profound then.
Oh,
Something
so
about it was something
profound.
about like it was this profound thing, if I can say it right. He goes, well, every day is a gift. That's why they call it a present.
Oh, why they call it
Because
It
it's
was
the
a fortune
present,
cookie.
right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it is
I
a
feel like
present
it was breaking
every.
up on a fortune cookie. They're like,
Yeah.
we need a profound word, so they go
And
to
then
the
he, like-
Chinese and they.
I remember he like plants a seed. He's like, now this seed will grow into a large tree, and you can't do nothing about it.
Well, you could cut it down.
Yeah.
A lot of things. You can
Yeah, we could do all kinds of things with that tree.
do.
Have
Profound.
you seen any trees I've tried to
Yeah.
grow?
I'm going to make a cabinet out of it. There we go.
I don't-
Chop that thing down.
When you say you can grow the tree and you can't do anything about it, I can't even get to the growing stage. So like,
The only thing I want to do about it is make sure it grows. Yeah. And projects that we did, we're almost done with the kitchen. We can say that's
Wow.
almost complete.
Yeah,
we
that
did.
was a biggie.
That was a big one. Yeah, we wanted to be done last Christmas. We really met our goal, didn't we, guys?
Well, we had
It
about
is
3 or
what it
4
is.
months where I couldn't do too much, but anyway.
Yeah, no, it's good. I like the projects to go, the
Yeah.
pace they do.
They do.
I like the way it goes.
we do get her done on our own time.
Yeah, for sure. And Bryson got his long-awaited, long-wanted aquaponics system.
Yes.
we've talked about that for a long time. We
Mhm.
finally got
Years.
it in place.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty.
You know,
big.
we've had questions about that over the year. Like, how's it doing? Are we growing food? Or
I actually will have some questions that will bring us to that moment in time.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
looking
for
But I can
later.
save
ahead a
them
little
for a
too
couple
far.
weeks.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, that was a pretty big achievement.
Aquaponics, what
Mhm.
else?
That was a big achievement. We're still
I
achieving.
think was this the year we started to live stream?
No.
Yes,
was-
it is.
I think it is.
Yeah, you guys did Spice Bite.
We started the Spice Pipe.
Yeah, but we're in a hiatus because our internet doesn't work
Okay, it
properly
doesn't-
at the
I mean,
moment.
right now, but
That was something.
that was something, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was something we're still planning to do when we get better internet for that.
Mm-hmm.
But-
yeah, that was something. And then of course the cancer thing was probably the biggest
Yeah, that was September.
ordeal in
Yeah.
September.
That was pretty.
Brought us forward.
I know there's been a lot of
Scary
folks
thing.
that want to know how I did it, and it's not a secret. It's just we'll have to tell everybody at a specific time.
We're still
And,
collecting our information.
Yeah, we
so-
got some data still to
Information
pull.
about it,
so
too.
one
We
more
hate to
test.
say, what we did or what Gary did until we know absolutely 100% that it's
That
it's all
actually
good. Otherwise, we don't really want to say it's not traditional what you did, and so we're just making sure before we open our mouths and trying to keep our foot out of our mouths.
Yes, I
Yes,
often.
we don't like the taste
place
of our
my
boots, so
foot.
we'll prefer not to
Yes,
place
who
them
knows what
on
I've
our
my
mouth.
stepped
feet.
in lately? I don't want to put my foot in my mouth.
Do
Being
you
out
know
on
where
the
it's been?
farm?
I don't want it in my mouth.
I just
Being
fed the
out on the
goats. This is not a good time.
Being out on the farm, who knows what could be on that
That's
thing?
right.
Who knows? And then, of course, going into 2020, we've got all kinds of fun stuff for the new year.
Very exciting.
You just call them resolutions, I guess, for us. They're just projects and goals. I know I've got a few. I'm wanting to conquer the saxophone this upcoming year. I've got
We
some
have to do
health
that.
things I'm wanting to kick as well. Some allergy stuff in my throat that I'm looking forward to getting rid of, and I'm sure there's more stuff. I'm just a little blank. Does anybody want to take the reins on it? Who else?
Well, one thing I know that Gary and I are especially excited about is we are going to be putting out the video tips, and we've written some of that, and it's going to be kind of a fun challenge for us because we're going to be doing probably, as far as the visuals on it, will be lettering coming up and different little just real small minor animated type things as well. And so we're looking forward to some new challenges that way, communicating that way. And we're really looking. Gary, jump in here too, because you've
Yeah.
got some things you want to
No,
say
I'm
on
totally psyched. You've written some things already that we're pondering. We just need to get some audio done on those, and then it's time for all the graphic stuff, And I've worked a lot over the years, and I'm going to have a little bit more time where I can concentrate on things that I really love to do, like music and art and graphics and animation and those kinds of things that I really love. And I'll be able to spend time doing that and create some pretty wonderful projects on that too. I'm really looking forward to it. I wish I could do it now, right this minute.
And everybody will be involved in it, but I think you and I will be probably the main ones doing that.
For that project, we have several others just outside of that we're all doing.
Yeah.
Each one of
Yeah.
us now are beginning to take on a little bit more responsibility for getting a little more content out. And
We've increased to 2 shows a week, and that will be a third show. So,
Yeah.
or including the weekly
Definitely
peak, it'll be
increase.
3 shows a week, and then
Yeah.
4 with the tips. And
yeah,
then-
the mainstay is still going to be the Weekly Peak, 20-minute program every Friday, and that's the one that we've been working on. But there's other days of the week. Let's see if we can't fill them up with stuff.
I think one.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah.
I think one of them we're planning for an animation eventually too, in there.
Yeah,
We've been
we
wanting
had
to do
that
the
for a
animation for
long time.
years.
We want to do that for a
Mhm.
long
we just
time.
never have the time to
Never have the time.
to really put.
You have
towards it.
so much written, Bree. You have so
I
much
do,
written.
and I have a lot of ideas for stuff I want to write. Like I'm so looking forward to when the time is right for that.
That's gonna be a lot of fun.
And but the stuff that I want to do, like we have a musical written, which I'm probably the most excited for. And it's just we need some other things in place in order to achieve it the way I'm picturing it and dreaming it up to be. And so we're working now on things that we can achieve right now, in the moment, and then just prepping for the future. I don't think that'll be coming out next year or maybe even the year after that, but you never know what might come along and what the new year might bring. But a lot of stuff in the future to really amp up production and really send it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Something that I
one-
really want to do this upcoming year is just game development on the website. I want to develop games to put out on the website.
Yeah.
And
That'd
it
be fun.
probably won't finish a game. It may not even show up this year, this upcoming year.
Yeah.
But I
Get
definitely
working
want
on
to get
it.
started on that because that's
I'm looking forward to doing the art for that.
That's
I
good.
love
It's gonna
doing
be a lot
art
of
for
fun.
games. I've done a few, and I love that. It's a lot of fun.
it is surprisingly shocking how much time programming can take.
Yeah.
So
for
my
sure.
goal is to just get started on it.
Yeah, we're gonna be planning on developing more on the website. and
Definitely.
stuff. When we get to that point,
We
I
want to
don't know.
revamp the shop and stuff.
Yeah,
and
get a
there's
little
lot of little things
revamping
we
going
wanna
on.
do.
So
Yeah, I want to say, too, that one of the things that has allowed us to do these other shows is Garen and Ellie are providing a lot of content for the Weekly Peak. And our goal was to get a 20-minute show on Fridays. That was our... Because, if you sit down on a sitcom or something on a TV, they're about 20 minutes long. And so we thought, well, let's try to get to the build up to the 20 minutes. And we did. We got there. And then with Garen and Ellie on board now and providing content. And not only providing content, they edit a lot of their own content before.
They do all of their content.
Yeah, they edit it before it comes to us. So it frees up for us all to be doing more things, which has been really great.
It's been
awesome.
a lot of fun being able to do, like just the podcast alone, doing the recaps and then doing the tips. Next year, those will be coming real soon. It's so fun to be able to add more stuff.
Yeah, and I like the idea of the variety too, because we have just the normal Weekly Peak show, but then we also have, Bree was the one who came up with the ideas for the recaps, and this idea that, some people don't want to see multiple subjects, they just want to see something quick or one subject oriented, and so, you get those out on Wednesdays, and I love that, and then you also come up with this idea of, well, why don't we just put together a show where it's just audio that you can do while you're doing other things. I know you enjoy listening to a lot of different podcasts, and so you said, hey, why don't we do this? And I think this has been a lot of fun too, doing this.
Yeah, so enjoyable to sit down and talk about all this stuff, for sure. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Yeah. The future holds so many fun new things for certain.
I just thought of another New Year's resolution that I want to do.
Okay.
Is that aquaponics system, I believe, is big enough to supply all the veggies and vegetables that we need here.
Is that so next year you want to achieve
I
it
think
this
it's
year?
possible.
I just
think
want to
it's
know what the
possible.
difference between a veggie and a vegetable is.
A veggie, I was thinking more of like cucumbers, and a vegetable, I was thinking more of like a carrot or potato.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Okay.
Yeah.
So one you give respect and one's like, nah, bruh.
Exactly.
Or maybe just more familiar with the cucumber than you are the potato and the carrot.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that goal, though, Bryson.
I
just
think
I love
and I
that
think it's
too.
possible. I think we can easily do it. I mean, there's
and then the fish
learning
too.
curves.
I mean, we'll be able to have
Yeah, the
that,
fish.
of course, not provide all the meat, but it would
No.
definitely.
But it would
Yeah.
provide a definite fish. Can you
And,
imagine? Living in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and
Fish.
it's funny when you're in the desert. It's fish is not something
No.
But your dad and I are from the Pacific Northwest, and fish was something that we really enjoy.
Lots
so
of it all the time.
yeah, so
It's weird too, because you're out here and you're like, how can you grow things on this ground that's out here, and how can you grow things when water is not a common thing, And this aquaponics system has just allowed us to have water, which is really weird to just have water flowing in the backyard,
I
but we
love
do.
it.
And it honestly doesn't take that much. 5 gallons a day, just about, which is about what a person probably uses a day, just with not showering
Like hand
and not
washing
including,
and
just like
drinking
probably
water or something.
just hand. Don't you
yeah,
think?
just
Something
watering
similar.
the plants in the backyard. I go
suck up
through a
so much
lot more
water.
than 5 gallons just
Yeah,
on the.
hundreds of gallons
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
a period of time.
We do have the rainwater system, which we use for that,
I
though.
love that system.
Which-
Bryson set that up with that solar panel back there, and I had water all summer long for my plants, just from the water coming off the roof of the house back into that tank, and then the solar
Which is
solar
so
panel
cool.
that pumped it out. It was wonderful.
And I think if we had like a metal roof, that would probably supply enough water for the aquaponics too.
Yeah, and
But-
we're going to put gutters around Breeze. That's another thing we're going to do this year. Is we're going to
Yeah,
get
that's
gutters around
right.
and drop it in a tank right close to.
Because we
your
need a metal tank for that, because of the water needs to be
metal tank.
not a metal. I'm sorry, metal roof.
Okay, yeah.
A metal roof for that, just because of the water running off. Like
Yeah.
if you did like a normal shingle roof like what we have, the material in the water gets kind of corroded. And you apparently can't grow fish in that
And kill the fish.
That's
Those little
oil based, is why.
Yeah.
It's oil based, tar based.
tar.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, we're gonna be doing that whole room. We're gonna be doing the gutters, also the outside of it. We're gonna be refreshing. It's been there a while. It needs a little upkeep. And then I also want to go. We're gonna go inside. We're gonna smooth out the walls a little bit more of my
Yeah.
room. And I want to. Shay's room is kind of the seamstress sewing room, and for mine, I want it to be a paint room for painting and that sort of thing, and it's some music as well. But
Painting as in like little things and
Yeah.
like the baby shoes and the
Pasta.
shirts and the
yeah,
I
Posca
like
pens
that
and stuff.
setup.
I want to have it all set up where you flick on some lights for the lighting, and there's a
Time
little
lapse.
thing for time lapse already sitting there, so it's just easy to get down and do your project. You don't have to worry about setting it up and tearing it back down. It's just all set up for you.
I love
I
that.
want to do
It's a
that
good
in mine.
idea.
I've got
I
room.
guess that's
So
better than the kitchen table.
yeah, that's what
Where we've been doing this.
yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, but yeah, for sure. And then another thing I want to do, and I don't know if this will be next year, but out by the Aquaponics, I want to do a really nice aviary out there as well.
Oh yeah,
lots of
you've
colorful
talked about that
birds.
for years.
I want to do that too. That's one. And I want to do a heated house. I was thinking maybe we could engineer something with maybe since we've been doing the
Solar
heated
heater.
water maybe or something, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Maybe find some way to heat the house that way, or I don't
Cool.
know, something unique way of heating
Yeah.
the little house for the birds to be
'Cause,
in for
like,
winter.
We normally have really good weather like year round. It gets hot sometimes, but normally we have a good weather around here.
Mhm.
At least growing wise, you could grow a good 80% of the year. It's just
Still
like a
growing.
few months that we get
Yeah,
cold.
look
Growing
at-
right now.
And
stuff's
even then,
growing right
yeah,
now.
like we're growing stuff right now, and it's just under a thin little greenhouse thing that was just like what
Thin
$50
layer of
bucks we got
plastic.
at Ace or whatever, and just covered it up, something like that. I can't remember
Yes,
the price,
and we just learned
something like
recently
that.
about lettuce.
yeah, yeah, we did.
Thank you
I
for
would still
helping.
be growing it right now, except
Someone had to take the whole thing
Except for
out.
the pig ate it. That's the thing.
I have learned a little trick though. Like
Yeah.
for the plants, the roots used to clog up. Like right now, I'm growing a mint, and the mint just goes crazy,
Yeah.
and it'll just clog up the pipes. But what I've been doing is I'm pulling the mint out, giving the roots a trim, and stuffing it back in there,
Oh,
and it
good.
keeps the mint a little smaller, but that's okay,
Yeah.
and it doesn't clog the roots. The roots don't clog up the
Oh.
pipe.
The pipe. Nice.
Yeah, I recently learned that.
Now, one of the things that you had mentioned a few podcasts ago, and I think think you also mentioned it in a weekly peek as well, that you're having issues with a snail overpopulation. So we had some suggestions
Oh.
of things
Oh,
to do
good.
to keep that down.
Escargot.
Yes. Sally Susie said assassin snails will cut down on the pest snails, and freshwater pufferfish will eat snails. Assassin snails won't
Freshwater
eat
pufferfish.
your plants. Assassin snails won't.
Wasn't a pufferfish like? Is that the one
They've
that
got-
needles and stabs
Yeah,
you?
they got a
and-
freshwater
that would be
pufferfish.
cute.
They do?
I thought that those were only saltwater. They
don't
have
know.
freshwater.
Oh, you got to look into that, Brian.
Oh,
that sounds
definitely.
fun.
Wait.
Freshwater pufferfish.
Okay.
You don't understand a freshwater pufferfish. Now pufferfish, I thought were poisonous.
Well,
Those
maybe they are,
stingers and
but
stuff
we're not
on
eating
right?
them, right?
Yeah, but let's put our hand in there. All of a sudden, I'm laying down athletic shock.
I
you know.
don't know, but I thought a pufferfish would always be really cool. It's just you'd have to have a saltwater tank for it, and I didn't want to run a saltwater tank.
Well, there you go.
But now,
Wait, let's go
Yeah.
with piranha.
Freshwater.
I think piranha would be kind of fun.
All right, the
Probably
world
eat
is open.
something in
I will
there.
say a bit of good news I found out, which I think they may already know if you've been watching the weekly peaks. I don't know if we put it in or not, but is that we have little baby fish in there.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
So that's pretty cool, which I thought it was a little too cold for them to have babies, but apparently not. So, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
that's
little baby fish in
that's
there.
next week's video.
We-
Or this Friday.
This upcoming one.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. So it's a little sneak peek to the peak.
Yeah,
so.
you get a
Sneak
sneak
peek
peek.
to
Yeah.
the sneak.
Anyway, it's very cool.
Hear it. What? hear it here first. Okay. One try asks, would ducks help with the snails? No, what was that?
Well, I was just imagining a duck swimming around in there and like no place for it to go, but like
The dog's chasing it.
We could,
I
eat,
mean,
we could eat
maybe,
the duck.
like-
duck à l'orange.
maybe it can work as food for the duck.
Yeah,
Uh,
or food for us.
I don't.
Of course, you know what
duck.
kind of duck do they do? Like mallards?
I love
or-
ducks,
I
but
do
the
too.
problem with the ducks being
Oh,
out
they
there
poop in the
is that
water.
they, well, I mean everything.
That
so
would
do
probably
the
be
fish,
okay.
right?
That would probably be okay.
So do the
actually.
fish.
But
Yeah, but like
I'm
they
just
like
thinking with the
load
ducks,
it. Like it's.
we had issues with this years back when we had our chickens just free ranging in the backyard. You just step on landmines when you're just trying to walk around with the ducks and the chickens. That is the one downside to them. I
There's
love ducks, and
something
I've
we learned.
tried to keep them.
Mhm.
I can't seem to keep them. I don't know what is wrong with
We've
me.
learned something about the ducks though, is that you can't feed them on the ground.
No, you gotta feed them in a
You
container.
gotta feed them on a container.
Word of the wise.
Or the water, probably.
Yeah. Exiled New Yorker says surround the aquaponic system with recycled copper, foil, strips, pipes, whatever you got. The snails and slugs won't touch copper.
Oh,
Interesting.
we probably
Smart.
got copper out in the junk pile.
Smart. You know, like, I wasn't thinking so much of snails being a problem. Like, I just thought, oh, snails, let's just throw them in there. Like, be careful with these snails, they can overproduce. We won't have that problem. We'll be fine. It's a big enough tank.
I remember you
They
saying
will
something about
fill
that.
the tank up.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how large it is. They're going to, they will fill the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So and people were like, well, you're supposed to get certain kinds of snails that can only breed like in salt water or whatever, and then fresh water, and then you can just get as many as you want, put them in there, and then you know they're not going to breed. And that's kind of a smart decision too, but careful with snails. I thought I was golden. No, they're in the pipes. They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
And then also on the subject of your projects with the beehives, we did get a question on the beehives. Crystal asks, also, Bryson, I'm a new beekeeper, and I'm struggling to keep them through the winter. How do you keep the hive beetle pest population down?
I've never had hive beetles yet. It's coming, and I know it's going to hit me, but I've never had problems with that, and I don't know why, but I haven't had
Do you have,
problems.
like, plans on if that happens, or it's just kind of like, if it happens, then we'll figure it out?
If it happens, I was planning to just do research on it and try the first thing that comes up. That's what I was going to do.
The first thing.
Just the first solution that
What if
someone
it's
has.
like dance around it and scream? Like
He's doing the dance
let
beetle.
me
He
say,
will have already done
first-
that.
Oh yeah, that's already done. That's crossed off the list.
the first thing that makes the most sense for me to do. Like maybe we already have the materials and we can just jam it in there.
I'd like to amend my statement. Crystal also asks, also, as the YouTube platform changes, do you have a platform that you might switch over to if YouTube kicks you off? And maybe BitShoot.
Yeah, BitShoot is probably the one that I've looked into the most. That's always an interesting thing when you don't, when it's not your own platform, when it's not, your own place. You're always, you're always at the mercy of whatever platform you're on, and but that we'll just have to cross that bridge if it comes.
Is this based on that new law that's out that YouTube's trying to protect children, which is a good thing.
Law. It's just an old law.
Well, no, it's been there, and
Yeah.
YouTube's gotten. Well, they lost a lawsuit. That's what happened.
Yeah.
And then, so from that lawsuit, they're really kind of coming out with the creators saying you need to define whether or not you're a children's channel. We've never really been solely for children,
Unless they want to build a kitchen.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Don't you see all those babies out there
I've
building
been
up their
teaching,
kitchens?
that 2-year-old how to use a saw. No, that's not happening. So we're not really. I don't see us getting kicked off for that. I think just being too cute. I don't know what we'll get kicked off for, but
being too clean. That's
clean.
it. You're out.
Yeah, more cuss words. But yeah, we just kind of
We'll
keep
deal
things.
with it if it comes.
We'll deal with it.
There's a place for us.
Yeah,
There's
we
been a saying,
definitely
you
aren't
just-
breaking anything, and we should be good. But
We have no plans
we
to.
are, like Mom said, at the mercy of the platform. So if that happens, we'll
we are.
probably head over to BitShoot. If not, I always thought having our website would be kind of fun to have people come to watch videos.
Oh, and it's
Well, that's
easy to
another
put
option.
videos
Easy
up
to
on a
put the videos
website.
up. I don't know.
And there
we'll
might
see
be
the
some
video.
new things coming down the pike too, where there'll be other platforms that we could move to too. There's, things are always changing
that's
and growing. And
if it happens, then we'll deal with it. Obviously, we want to be on YouTube forever and ever and have no issues. That's the ideal world, and that's the way it's been so far, and that's what we're hoping for the future as well. We love this community. We love being on YouTube, and we don't want to go anywhere.
We love doing it, and we're all invested in it. And but it really, it's not a gold mine. We're not making $1 jillion from it. So we don't do it for the money. We really kind of do it because we enjoy talking about the things that happen around here, and we don't see other programs or other shows out there that do this. And
produce what you'd want to see.
Yeah.
Those are things that we'd
and
want
we're
to see.
semi-funny sometimes, so that helps.
We think we're funny.
Yeah.
Let's admit it.
And we convince other people to think the same way.
Hopefully.
So yeah, it's all subliminal. But there's a little sense of humor, I guess, and also too, we're willing to do things probably other channels wouldn't do, as far as talk about things that are normal. People sometimes get crazy with ideas and think that they're selling a formula that is, eye-catching or whatever. We just talk about life the way it is and what we do, and I think that there really is no secret sauce, is there?
I think that's what's been so neat about YouTube is it is very transparent and real, and I think that's just refreshing to our eyes to watch. I like watching that kind of stuff, and we've been inundated with a lot of stuff coming out of Hollywood, and it's a lot of times it's very cringy and difficult, and then the more stories we hear coming out of Hollywood, it gets to be more and more difficult, and it's just YouTube's like a breath of fresh air. It has been since it started. A guy and a guitar, in front. It's just always been really authentic, and
people like. Just doing time lapses of cleaning their room is fun to watch. Like just simple things that you wouldn't even think.
That's good for you to watch. I'm not really into it.
Well,
you get motivated.
For everyone, you get motivated.
Yeah.
Like, I can do that. It wouldn't take me much time.
It's really cool when they build shelves for their room. Then I go, okay, how's he doing that? So
There's plenty of content out there for everyone.
Yeah.
So that's
There's something for
all
everyone.
kinds of things. There's 3D printed a shelf. He bought a shelf and it was broken. Or it was missing pieces, and he was like, okay, I'll just 3D print it. And he made a video about 3D printing it. He's like, yeah, it's pretty strong. I 3D printed it with this filament, and worked out great.
Yeah.
Gotta love the ingenuity
great.
on YouTube as well, for sure.
Yeah, I think what happened with us too when we first started is we wanted, I wanted editing challenges, so, and I wanted to be able to jump subjects from one subject to the next, to the next, to the next. How many times can I jump subjects? And to me, that was the editing. That was the fun. I didn't want to just do, video in the how-to part of it. It's just, that wasn't much of a challenge as an editor. And I could see everyone just putting a camera in front of them and doing stuff. And I thought, that's really cool. But I want to learn how to edit. I want to learn how to do transitions. And so that's kind of what launched us into something a little different. And granted, probably not as successful going that way, but it's been fun. It's been what we wanted to do.
We had a few friends, that started out with us when we were more how-to-ish. And they hung with us. Occasionally they voice their opinion, and that's okay. But I think, too, I think there's been a market for fun and a market for humor and silliness and
and market more for like a show instead of the 10-minute one subject concept, which is very wildly successful, wonderful. I think going into the future, I really feel like the show is going to be, hopefully, we're hoping it's going to be more and more in demand. And if not, that's fine. We're still going to plug away. We love what we're doing.
Yeah,
but
you have to do what you love.
But yeah, it is different. It is unique, and we're happy with that. And if we're the ones blazing the trail, going, "Hey, 20-minute shows," you're in the mood for a 20-minute show. If we're there, and we're vocalizing for it, then sure, absolutely, we'll do that. But we just love it so much, for sure. Mom's so good at those transitions and putting the shows together as well. Very engaging. She's very
well,
good at
everyone's joined in now, so it's not just me anymore.
Yeah, but you've been our leader. We've looked up to you to tell the story and help to find a way to present it that is magical, and we relied on that. Sure, we can stand in front of a camera and goof around.
We're happy to do that.
Yeah. Well, look at me, saw this piece of lumber again. So and she makes it look interesting. So and fun, and then too the little outtakes and the funny little things that we do, and you find a place for that, and you build these stories that are genuine and real, and I'm glad everybody likes to see them because we like doing them. So
Well, I think too what's nice about editing is it's a forever learning. You forever can learn. It's constant. Every week there's something new to learn, and I like that too. It's forever challenging, right, for all of us.
It's been really fun trying to find ways you could do it faster, because at first it's like a 20-minute video. If we had to start out with that with you, Mom,
wow,
it would take you months to finish each one. It would have been very tough, and finding the techniques to speed up. And learning about a server that we now can share, and we can split jobs up. That was a tremendous increase in speed.
You came on to bring the NAS server on. It was
everybody's
great.
It's
been fun, and we've started to share more and more. Trying to get into a building.
Yeah, all the way down
so
to
speak.
when you're capturing footage, being more. Not taking too much, you're only taking really what you need. You're thinking through your shots because even though it is 20 minutes, you don't want to be going through, you're still going to probably, in some cases, go through 50 minutes of footage or more for one subject, easy. It's still not a mountainous job,
I think in the past, I remember we used to have shots that would be really long. Have 13-minute shots, and you have to go through each one, and that's a challenge. Whatever you film, you have to watch.
I just kept it.
You know?
It's so mean of me when I first started really taking B-roll shots is what we were going for, and trying to do more interesting footage. I would just leave the camera going and then go from different shots. And oh my gosh, those must have been murder to go through. Now I click it on and off, so it's a little more, structured. Some stops and starts.
The stuff we don't use, there was a lot of it, and just trying to get through it and find something that was good to put in there. I imagine for you, Shelley, was like crazy.
Yeah.
I've just watched 20 minutes of stuff I can use 30 seconds. I mean, it's like, whoa.
Well, even a year ago, I think the shows were only about 10 minutes. I think the 20 minutes was what we built up to this in 2019.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that
We
the
were
goal
aiming
that
for-
we met, trying to build up to that 20 minutes.
Technology's help.
And then finding, okay, how long do we want the show to be? And then that's it. Now that's it. We'll stop and we'll move on to more shows. And that's what we did.
Yeah, trying to figure out when it's reached its perfect, hopefully. Obviously something to do, well,
We've
to improve on
gotten-
it, but the perfect kind of more
Now-
what we're looking for.
Now, Gary, you got some projects this year for 2020 coming up. What are some of the things that you're wanting to do? I mean, as far as
Creative projects or
yeah.
Okay.
No, as far as like
Building?
building projects.
Okay, building projects.
Yeah.
Well, the most obvious one, and the one I wish it was running right now, is the shop area.
Yes.
That's probably the project I'm probably most excited about. I was watching a video today on a guy building a guitar from scratch, and I thought, oh, I would love to do that. That would be way cool, because I'm a musician and I'm an artist, and I understand probably a bass would be the thing I'd want to build first.
So cool.
But I'm also a woodworker and an electronics guy, and I thought, you put those kinds of things together, that'd be fun to do. A place to do it would be really nice that's indoors. And, sure, we have a little rain, we have a little heat, and you can't really build these things outside. And so we're pretty excited about getting the shop done. And that means the two buildings and then building a roof over the top and enclosing both ends.
Yeah.
I want to put some good equipment in there, too.
Yeah, I know
Machining
Garen's looking for,
mill.
either a lift or a pit
Yeah.
for car stuff. And
Pits, apparently, we've heard they're hard to keep clean, and you're
falling
afraid
into them
someone's
is
gonna
always
fall
a
into
problem.
them and stuff like that. So
I don't want a pit.
I think we should go with a lift if we're going to do it.
If we do a
have
lift.
plans
Now, I
and
think it
stuff.
should be a portable lift, something we can roll into a corner and pull out, because we don't always work on cars, I don't want something in the middle where I could be moving plywood around and keep bumping into the thing, stepping on those
True.
things and hurting myself.
I don't even know. Can we make a lift portable? Is that
Well,
a
we
thing?
probably we'll build a section of ground that has a lot of support. Okay, so we can lift a car. So we'll build a foundation that'll be able to do that. And then I think that they probably do make a lift that can roll around. I just can't imagine them.
Can't imagine
And then
that.
and then
Yeah,
you bring it
so-
down and it has little thing. Yeah, we'll find something.
That would be really
That
cool.
makes sense.
But and I'm thinking you should get a wood lathe.
Yes, a wood lathe would
Get
be cool.
really big wood lathes you can get
Yeah.
for stuff. And I don't know, I just want to get machines like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely get a CNC mill in there.
We have to. That's what was so cool. And I was telling Mom about this just before we came out, that the guy that built the guitar is all designed with a CNC machine and a computer. So
The wood mills, wood
So cool.
CNC mills are you can get them big. You can get them big, and you put a sheet of plywood on some of them, and they'll just do the whole
It looked
sheet.
like an R2D2 arm came out and went, it was really
that was
cool.
a fancy one, yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's fancy,
know,
but
I
it
just-
was pretty cool to see it cut this out. But isn't that would be the cool part, is that we could come up with a design that's our design
Yeah,
and then build guitars. That'd be cool. I'd love to build guitars and
be really cool.
sell them.
It'd be really cool.
It's funny that you say that, because I watched some of that, people building guitars and stuff. I've seen them build them using
Pencils. Is it
pencils.
Oh,
I think
so
some
cool.
use crayons.
Oh,
They covered it with
any
resin.
kind of wood.
And
It's
resin.
really
Like
cool.
really colorful.
Electric guitars, but still kind of the same concept.
I'm
of
thinking
the
you could probably build
electric.
an actual acoustic.
I
guitar too,
really,
think.
really, 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 really want.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
Is that Groundhog Day?
Huh?
Yeah, I feel like
no,
I'm
oh my gosh!
Day.
Flashback last week. No, I would really love one of those shovel guitars. I don't know if you've seen those, but they
Oh,
look really
yeah.
fun, and they play really fun. Like you play 'em with a, one of those little glass bar things.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then and it has 3 strings, and I should show you.
Yeah,
They're
3
really
strings.
cool.
That's easy to manage.
Yeah,
that's
We
great.
they're
definitely
really cool.
need a shop up and going for everybody to.
Yeah, and I think the
Lots
shop
of
would do that.
projects.
Yeah, it was so cute too. Garen had called me one day and he goes, I know what you guys can do on that shop. That's not going to cost hardly any money to do." And so he'd come over and he's like, take these, and do those loops between the
The ribs.
buildings, and
Mhm.
he laid it all out, and that's perfect.
And
Let's
since
do
he
that.
mentioned it, he's coming over to help.
Well, I thought he was doing it, isn't
Oh,
he? I
gee.
mean,
Oh,
he's going to have he'll have 3 pretty soon. The 3 of
Yeah.
them. Azalea,
Well,
she can be hauling that dirt.
Perfect.
I'm almost done with all the little things that we need to have, so having that up and running would be.
The little things. What do you mean?
Well, I still have some window trim and a couple things to do in the
Right, you
kitchen.
mean for the kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing
I'm
we wanted to
almost
get that done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
Yes.
it's just dawned on me too. Like when we design that shop, we should be thinking about like a table saw place that we can roll out to the center or something,
mhm.
so we can cut that and then roll it back or something that
Yeah,
we
very
can,
portable.
Yeah, you like to
Portable
be able to do
stuff.
those big sheets.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, the
4 by 8
big
sheet.
the big sheets we need to be able to cut.
Well, I want to
those.
do it so that I don't have to call on Bryson. If you make your table big enough, you just throw the plywood up there, and it's all supported from one end to the other. So
Mm.
something that's 16 feet long would be cool.
Yeah, I think we could install. They make vacuum setups in the systems that have like just a
Yes.
vacuum setup where you have hoses running throughout the
Mhm.
building,
Mm-hmm.
and you can just pull them out and vacuum stuff up.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. Or
slap
you
it
sweep
back.
them right into the vacuum.
And we have
Like right
220 on
with the
the
table
other
saw
pole.
and stuff.
Yeah, we
like,
should do that.
And
I think
there's
that's
220 on
important.
the other pole, so we can get some more higher voltage type
Mhm.
of machinery in there, especially if you want to do this CNC mill or something. I don't know
yeah,
what
if we're gonna do
see.
CNC mills, you want a vacuum on there
Yeah,
to vacuum
'cause
up
it
the
just-
stuff it grinds up.
You guys can have a paint booth as well somewhere in there
Sure.
as well.
You actually could probably just paint right in the shop.
I know Shay's really wanting to paint her
Right.
car lately.
Mhm.
Well, I
Probably
think we'll
not.
design it so maybe
What
a
if-
drop down from the ceiling.
Yeah,
that'll,
That'd be really something that drops down right over
yeah.
the top of a car,
Right
I
on.
like that.
and you can
Right
pull it up.
on.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Be really cool.
Of course, in our heat, we're gonna have to have some kind of heating and cooling.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Mhm.
say. We probably have some ideas to keep the
Something.
temperature kind of nice, because I figure if it's gonna be enclosed, it might as well be
Well,
comfortable.
Yeah.
I can
Of course,
tell.
now we need other things like a full screen TV, sound
It's gonna have a
system,
bathroom.
a
I think we're planning on a
refrigerator,
bathroom.
a
I
microwave.
will say this: if we do those hoops over the top and we do some clear sheeting in there
Mhm.
during the winter time, you'd be pretty comfortable working
Yeah.
in there.
I think it's going to be metal sheeting on that. We're going to make it very
Okay.
permanent. No.
Yeah,
No,
it's not gonna be.
we're not gonna mess around
clear.
this time.
No,
Okay.
it's there to stay.
Yeah.
It's there to stay. for
We don't
sure.
want it flying away.
Yeah.
Get
like
it.
the current one. And we want to be able to hold snow. As odd as it is, we don't
Mhm.
ever get snow, and then we got snow.
Not
It's
like that.
Snow like
Not like that.
5
That was-
times last
that
year.
was
That
insane.
That was weird.
intense.
Day after day. like
Record
that.
Oh
breaking,
my
I think,
gosh.
wasn't it?
It had
Yeah.
to have been. I was.
Well,
Yeah.
I
mean,
like
felt like it
snow,
was in
but that was-
Minnesota in early, early spring,
I
Minnesota.
don't
when
think
it
you've been to
snows.
Minnesota.
I've been to Minnesota. Early on, not when it's 40 feet of snow.
You mean in the summer?
I meant in the
40
winter.
degrees below zero.
I mean, I was just joking because this little bit of snow we got, he was there in the summer.
Oh,
Hey,
right.
now, let's talk about snow.
just-
Your
I'm
mom
just
and I are
teasing.
from the Pacific Northwest. We know what snow looks like, and you guys are Arizona babies. So
Oh yes, we've never seen snow.
Never.
No, we've
We
never
haven't.
skied.
Never
We've never done
skied.
any of those things.
never
Never
Never.
skied at all.
We don't even know what that
No.
looks like.
I'm glad I'm here to help you to realize the effects of snow. Let me impart my knowledge on
Okay,
you. It's
yeah,
cold
Please, I'm tired.
and
I'm
wet
tired.
when it should.
Cold. It's not cold until you're flying down a mountain with the
I
Yeah,
don't.
totally.
Now that
And
we're also spoiled
goggles.
on that because I feel
and
like
it's
if you,
snowing.
I can't see. I gave up, and then that was pretty sad. Not. I went more than that.
Okay,
kinda-
other projects. Let's talk about that. We got some more projects coming up. We got that one. The
We do
outdoor
wanna go to the
kitchen would
moon
be
someday.
one.
No, I'm
Outdoor-
kidding. Just a-
Outdoor
just a
kitchen
joke.
is one I went.
Oh, the
kind of
bathroom.
excited. The bathroom.
The second
off
bathroom
the master. Yeah.
be excellent
It's
to get
kind of
that
off
on.
limits
done.
right now. It's kind of.
Yeah,
It's
and it'd
not
be
really
nice
put
to get
Yeah,
that one
it'd
up
be
and
nice
going.
to just like pull
So-
everything out of there and then redo all of it.
Yep, I want to.
Pull everything out of it.
The tile.
Burn everything.
Yeah.
Burn
And
it
then-
all down.
and
and then
put it all
Well,
back
I mean, it was
together.
the first thing we did 14 years ago. I think it was put the bathroom in. And so we'll pull the tile, we got some tile already for that.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
think
then-
I think that hot tub out there needs to be
No, we're not
used.
doing
Are you guys gonna put that in?
No.
I don't want
no.
a tub.
Oh.
Who wants to sit in their own goop?
I don't know.
I never
I
figured
don't
that
know
out yet.
that.
I want to spray it off of my body down the hole. You know? I don't want to sit there and go, hey, look, there's a tub ring. How cool is that? Where did that come from? Hey, I can write my name in there. That is so cool. Gary was here. It was dirty.
Oh,
It's just gross.
Some people don't like the bath.
Well, the tub's kind of cool if you're like a hot tub or something where you're just trying to get your aches and pains,
A lot
but
of people like baths
bathing
too,
in
but
it, yeah. I don't know
We're
why.
just not
What
our
is it?
thing, really.
I was thinking a hot tub would be absolutely great for aquaponics, especially if it was set up to heat and everything.
Oh, yeah, we could sit right next to the rutabaga and
I feel like-
lettuce growing.
Well, I mean, like
That would be really warm.
it's really hard
Yeah, I
to.
like it
You
so-
probably
Yeah.
can turn it down to a.
Oh,
do you
I'm
think the
sure you just
tilapia would mind if
regulate
we
it.
sat
They're
in
just
there?
chilling
with
in there
it?
with the
Right now, I was
tilapia. What's
thinking,
up,
like-
boys?
I was thinking right now, like it'd be really nice if that water was in a hot tub. I could just turn the hot tub on, warm it up.
We probably have.
Do you know what I mean?
Get
That's
you a
like, that's
pump.
nice.
There's pumps and things, and the heaters and all that stuff with the hot.
There
Why don't we
is.
buy a used one and get all the gear from them and throw it
see
in?
them. People
It's
give
very
them away
possible.
for free.
Yeah.
Do you know
Wow,
how
really?
hot those are or anything?
Well,
Do
you
you know
adjust
what
the temperature.
But what voltages is out sinking? Do they put on the wall? What are they?
You could probably
Oh.
find one for 110 or 120 volt.
That would be a tricky one to do.
We could
I
do
was looking at the instant hot water heaters you put underneath the sinks.
it. Mm-hmm.
I was going to try to see if I could convert one of those for it. But the problem
Hmm.
is all the instant ones, they need enough power to instantly heat it up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they have to have a small storage
sense.
tank.
Mhm.
And 240 is where they typically set.
Mhm.
Yeah, who has 240 under their sink to put one of those in? I've never gotten that
No
figured
idea.
out yet.
No idea.
Maybe the new building codes is they have to have a 240 outlet under every sink.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is I could just buy an old hot water heater and
Huh.
actually put a hot water heater out there and
Mhm.
cycle it.
Yeah, but then you're 30 amp, and I'm liking this idea of the
Hot tub.
hot tub, and we can see, like you say, Craigslist. They give those things
We'll
away.
see that
They do.
that solar heater we have out there now should.
True, we are
I
using
know we're
a
not
solar
supposed
heater.
to say that, but
The solar heater that
The one we're working on
The
right
one
now.
that may or may not be on this week's
Yeah.
video
Yeah.
coming up.
This
I think-
this one coming.
It
He's
just
still
dawned on
working
me,
on
though.
it. We're
Coming
still
to a
testing.
We
YouTube
move
channel
that
near
thing
you.
on top, it will get more sunlight.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I
we're
think we
still
should do that
testing.
when we get back.
Yeah,
I like it.
still testing it, really, making sure it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still testing it, but I think it will work. Like it's degrees warmer. It has been keeping it warmer.
Okay.
The
Well,
trick-
if you're not, if we come back one day and it's been snowing for 100 years,
know,
and
the
the fish
scary
are like-
part.
100 years.
Here's the scary
That's a
part.
long time.
It's like if you get a little offset with your temperature, you might lose just, offset with your liquid and something's wrong with it. You might lose a couple fish and the rest will get sick. But if you get a cold blast or a heat blast, it's the whole tank.
Mhm.
So it's like you could literally lose all your fish, like that.
want that.
So that's the scary part. But we're getting it. We're getting it.
We're figuring it out. That's for
Mhm.
certain. Did anybody have any last minute, or not last minute, but one more
Project?
project or
For next
something
year?
that we're?
I think we should
I
fly to
think-
the moon.
No. I'm looking to do the outdoor kitchen because I want to do concrete countertops
that'll be
again.
probably
Oh.
next year. But yeah.
I
It
want to
might
build
be.
an
It might be
aquaponics
next
system
year. We've got-
into that kitchen too.
Well, we've got your guys' room
I know it sounds
first, Mom and
weird,
Dad's
but-
room,
Yeah, we do have the room.
and
the room has to come
workshop.
first.
I
Yeah.
I enjoy sleeping in my hovel. I've been in there for 14 years. So why would you take me
we
out
all
of
have
there?
palaces.
It's
They
just-
sleep in a hovel.
It's just a
Oh my
cot.
gosh, what have we done to our
Fold
parents,
down
Bree?
cot with a 4-inch mattress on there.
You
It's
can't
just-
whine because I'm trying to get you into a room.
I'm
and you're like,
joking.
"No,
We
I
have a
don't
real
want
room.
that."
We have
Yeah.
a real room and
Yeah.
a bathroom and stuff. We're gonna remodel it and
Yeah,
and get
it's,
it in
it's
there.
nice
Yeah.
in there.
yeah.
It'll
Who
be
wants to
all right.
sleep in
Of course,
a
we don't
round
have
room
any
anyway?
Video of it because
Well,
you
no, when we're ready to change it, then you'll know what
Okay,
it looks
yeah.
like.
Nobody's ever
Okay, nobody-
seen it, right? And there's a reason why you haven't seen it. So yeah, it's.
You didn't used to not see our kitchen. Now that's all you see.
You're exactly right on that. You're exactly right. But anyway, the outdoor kitchen would be fun. The bathroom remodel. I was going to try to do that here during the wintertime because it's indoors
Mhm.
and a little easier to work on. I don't want to necessarily go out and work on the hoop barn right now, but finish up the kitchen, maybe do that bathroom remodel, and work on our bedroom just a smidge, and then maybe when it starts warming up, we'll go outside and
start
get the
on our
hoop
next
barn.
big project.
Sounds fun.
And these are just the projects we're talking about now. We're gonna have more the
That will
more we're
pop up.
here,
Mhm.
and there'll be big projects. They might be small projects, but we've got content for ages, because then we got Garen and Ellie just
That's
bought a
what I
new
was
place.
thinking. Garen and Ellie are
also-
they're gonna be probably doing something
They'll be
big
doing
next
something
because
big
they've been
next,
doing
yeah.
a lot of little this and that. And I
Mhm.
think
And then who knows what, if we get our own properties too, or more development on this one. There's so much, so
I
much
know
in the works.
Someday I want to build a giant restaurant that runs aquaponics.
On Sunday, you just decided. On Sunday, I'm
No,
gonna
he
do
talked
that.
about this
No,
earlier.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
I should build a big
Oh.
restaurant, and the whole thing has aquaponics built into the walls, and literally they grow the food that they cook that
Right in
day.
front
I
of
love that. I'm sorry. I thought you said on
Think it'll be
Sunday I
nice.
want to build. That's what I thought I heard you saying.
No,
I'm like, on
someday.
Sunday. That's
I
the
just thought
perfect
that would be
day.
a really cool idea. The only food imported is the meats. Everything else is
And
grown.
then what
Well,
happens
why
if
not
you
just
could do the
raise
fish?
sheep in
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, you could do the fish. You could do the fish.
There's a steer walking around. And
I just thought that would be really
no,
cool.
Can't do that.
Imagine.
quick, let's butcher that
mean-
sucker. I need some meat.
No, no, don't even.
A customer comes in. I need that sheep, Freddy. Where is he?
Oh, no.
Just eat your food, and we'll tell you later.
No, stop. All right. Well, we really appreciate you hanging out with us. We hope you had a wonderful Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
And a super happy New Year. Please let us know if you have what your New Year's resolutions are, and if you've got any plans or whatever, or maybe your favorite moments from this year, or whatever. Please let us know down in the comments. And if you also have any questions to us or comments just in general, also please let us know down in the comments. We love to incorporate you into the conversation. So thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Oh, ready? Whoa. Sorry. Happy New Year! Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Flawless. First time.